I'm going to walk you through 5 reasons why you might be struggling to get good tone out of your amp sims. Reason number 1, you might just be using the wrong sim, dude. Honestly, just like real amps, every sim has its own tonal characteristics. So you got to try a bunch out and find which ones you jive with just at their base settings. Like put everything to noon, and if you like the tonal characteristics, work with it. Otherwise, try a different one. There's a bunch of free sims on the market that you can download. There's a bunch of inexpensive ones, and then there are more premium ones as well. So check out what I mean. I got 4 amp sims loaded up just with their base settings here. Check out the difference between them all. Same riff here. First sim. Second sim. Third sim. Last but not least. Alright, second point, you might just be using the wrong IR. So IR stands for impulse response. The impulse response is like your cab. That's what you can think of it. It's your cab section. So choosing a different impulse response will drastically change your tone. All right, so I got 3 of the same tracks set up, each with the same amp sim and settings, just different IRs. Check out the difference the IR alone makes here. So here's number 1. Number 2. Number 3. So personally, I could work with any one of those 3 tones. The point is you have options. All right, so now you can dial in your settings how you want, which leads me to point number 3. You might be overdoing it on the gain, and you might be relying too much on the amp's gain instead of a boost in front. Obviously, I'm doing metal tones here, but I like to keep my amp gain around noon, and then I have a boost in front with the drive all the way down, the level around halfway. Sometimes I'll crank it all the way, and the tone just a little bit off center to 1 or 2 o'clock to tighten up the low end. Okay, reason number 4, you might be listening with your fingers. What I mean by that is amp sims do not react the same way as a real amp, a tube amp. Some of them are getting real close, but I think the good amp sims these days, and the good ones don't necessarily mean the expensive ones, but the good ones, they do a good job of emulating the sound. They just don't quite emulate the feel. So you gotta be able to separate that in your mind. I think especially in a mix, you can get your amp sims to sound perfectly real and authentic. Which brings me to point number 5, the last one. You might just have analysis paralysis. As you can see, the sky is the fucking limit. That is both the beauty and the curse of amp sims. Truly, you can accomplish any tone you're looking for, but you have to sift through all your options to find what you're looking for. And in the process, it can be really easy to get ear fatigue. Everything starts to sound like a blur and nothing starts to sound good. So that's why it's important when you do find a sim that you like and an impulse response that you like, stick with them and then just dial in your settings to taste. Also in a mix, make sure you double track and pan them hard left and hard right, but that's a whole other can of worms. So